Spooky season's upon us, gentlemen, and obviously I am not who you are expecting. Everyone's expecting Dylan, but guess what? I'm not Dylan.
Hey,
Dylan's
hey, you're the
evil.
you always start. I mean, you're just sitting on a different chair.
Oh yeah, that's true. Conrad here,
Hilton.
George.
and Dylan isn't here. Dylan is off to wedding escapades.
No, I don't know what he's doing right now. Practicing his first dance.
Nah, he's playing Battlefield 6. We all know he's just playing video games. Poor Sam's doing the whole thing by herself. Now, best of luck to him. Congratulations on the waltz. Hopefully you get it down pat before the wedding. It's coming up, guys. It's coming up. I'm excited for him.
Next week.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool.
I got my suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, do I need a suit?
I'm gonna dress up.
Of course.
Hey, should I? Should I not? I don't know.
Yeah, it's America, right? Yeah.
Are you going to be walking down, Dylan? Is that what it is?
No.
In your suit?
I'm just gonna be suited up.
It feels good to get into a suit. I was at a suit. The last time I wore a suit was about this time last year for a quinceañera's party. And I dressed up and was feeling good, looking good. And it's, it's good to have those occasions where you dress up,
It is. It is nice. Can you pass me the butane filler thing, please? Yes.
So that feels empty. This one's empty.
I don't know if there is more lighters there, but oh, do you know what? I think I have lighters here. Yeah, I have brand new lighters. Look at this.
You might put in here some. I'm gonna bring the next one.
I have another one over there.
Yeah, does it go?
Hey, Conrad, can you hand me over the other butane?
Did I give you the butane
Please.
Did I give you the butane that was empty?
No, because George is using it. So
Oh, okay.
I think both has. I don't know, I got.
That one's very good. There's only two.
Sorry, what was that?
This one has only two because because
Viewers,
like
we
two flames.
are
Yeah.
refilling
I prefer
our.
2 flames than 4 flames. I think it's too strong.
Oh, okay.
For the cigar.
We are filling up
We're
our.
filling up our.
It's like we get all of the technical issues down with cameras and audio, and then as soon as we start lighting up cigars, it's like, shit, do we have enough butane to light up these cigars? I'm gonna have to get 2 sticks, 2 rocks outside.
And the secret is you fill it up, and then you drain a little bit of the. And I'm getting a call of the air, so that you can then fill up some more.
Oh, okay, kind of like a purge.
Yeah.
In cigar terms, it's a purge. So yeah, gentlemen, it is Halloween time. Halloween is closely approaching us, and that is always the fun time of spooky stories, conspiracy theories, and more craziness.
Has it always been big in your life, the Halloween?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, honestly, my first Halloween was up in Washington. I remember it was freezing cold, very cold and rainy, and we had to walk. I want to say I was like 4 years old, but I still remember walking with my cousins out and about, going trick-or-treating, and the houses were very far apart from each other. But the reward was so great. All the neighbors had, buckets just specifically ready for kids to make the venture. So there were, some kid would show up and they'd have a ton of candy ready for them. So it's probably the most candy at, 4 years old. I'd be like, drowning in it. So the reward for pain and effort.
How old were you?
4.
4. Okay.
Of course, basically what ended up happening was all of my candy just went to my cousins. My mom and dad gave me like 1 or 2 little pieces of candy, and that was it. But I troopered through, man. At a young age, I still remember that. Very first memories of Washington, living up there in Washington. And one of those first memories of my life is going trick or treating with my cousins. So
An
Halloween,
adventure.
yes, yeah, very much is an adventure,
Everything is gigantic compared to you.
and that's why maybe the houses weren't as far apart as I remember.
Exactly.
But when you're 4 years old, everything is super far away, and you need mom and dad to carry you after a little bit. So
Because your memory somehow has height, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
The way you see things, like the way you see things is. So that's why you see in literature everything gigantic and a lot of references like, oh, the zoo, when I went back, the zoo wasn't that big. Of course, because, you're
your perspective of the world,
3 feet tall.
exactly,
You know?
exactly. Which is kind of funny. One of the first topics that I'd like to talk about today is giants.
Okay.
Have you-
Giants?
It's because of football?
No, not the not the New York Giants, but giants.
Okay.
Spooky stories, conspiracy theories. This is kind of a new one that I'm going down a rabbit hole of. I'll be honest. I started looking
When you
into
say
it.
giants, are you referring to creatures or are you referring to beings?
I am
Human
referring
beings.
I'm referring to human beings or beings of larger than life stature
Mm-hmm.
than normal people.
Like the hairy person. No, the hairy person. The
Hagrid from Harry Potter.
no. Up north, that they have the big
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Sasquatch.
Similar, but these are different stories about giants. Obviously, we're all very familiar with the biblical tale of,
I don't know.
David and Goliath.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Sorry,
I
I
don't-
thought
I
you guys
don't
were going to
know,
help me on that one, but
Because
okay.
I don't have religion as my reference for them. So the Bible, when you say Bible, that's not what comes to my mind. Like it's bigger than for me. So I know the story through other channels.
So, and we know it through the Bible. David and Goliath. David killed Goliath with a rock, but
Sling.
Goliath, yes, slingshot.
Slingshot.
But Goliath was supposed to be this warrior of
Okay.
immense stature who was just a monster on the battlefield.
Now I got what you mean by giants. Yeah.
But there's also Native American in North America and Central and South America that refers to star people who came down to Earth, who were very, very tall, extremely tall, but they taught, and again, this is Native American folklore, but apparently these star people came down to Earth, taught them the ways of hunting, fishing, agriculture, farming, but they would breed with the women, and then apparently some of the giants,
Read with the women. They said they fucked them.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, and then
Euphemism.
a euphemism. But after they would breed with them and successfully breed with them, and help raise the children up, they would demand sacrifices of humans, and there was a huge revolt amongst the people that, like, yes, we're grateful for all of the things that you've taught us and helped us and showed us, but we're not going to let you eat our people anymore. So they killed all the giants. Now, obviously, take it with a grain of salt as far as the story goes, but there's quite a bit of coincidence with the biblical stories talking about what they call the Nephilim, which were fallen angels that had affairs with women, and their children were a mixed breed giant people of human and angel blood, half and half. There are stories from Asia, very similar situations.
Is there something like on the internet that you can search?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
go ahead and do some searching. Well, let's do some searching and then come back after cigar review. So we gotta start the cigar review.
Let's get into the cigar review. We'll be right back.
So did we research?
I was just typing it in right now. Greek mythology, the giants.
I was gonna say that as you're searching, I was gonna think like that story about gods mating with humans and stuff. It's being told during Greek, mythology, and then now it's being told during Christianity. So it's just like people getting the same story and refactoring it or remastering it to tell the same tales.
Well, so the Greeks talked about originally it was the Titans. And again, the Titans were what? Destructive beings that they had, that the early man put them in a prison. And that's where the gods, Olympus, Hercules, all of the Greek gods,
yes,
came together to fight the Titans, and they imprisoned the Titans in the middle of the earth, or in Mount Ariad. Isn't that the Greek mountain? I believe so.
Something like that.
So again, old history tales about these giant figures coming down and eating and destroying.
Yes, and the what is it? What's the word? The spring? No, the
spring.
No, when somebody has when somebody mates with someone.
Offspring.
Offspring, yeah. So the offspring of the god, which was called during the Greek mythology, is the semi-gods.
Yes.
They were the fighters, the stronger, people, because they're semi-gods.
Right. Exactly. So I feel like there's some weird. I mean, like you said, it's a recycled or repurposed story told. But it's told in various different times and religions, and it's either forgotten or, incorporated in some type of history lesson. For like the Greeks, it was incorporated. Ancient Americans, the Christians.
It's all who wants to tell the story. But Andy, go ahead. Let's find something like that.
So, I wanted to get into what I find is Native American folklore.
Got a couple words to talk about giants here too.
Did you find something in there?
No, I didn't. It's just that I remember from what.
Take notes.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Because this
it's
is an interesting. Okay, you narrow down. I don't want you to lose it.
So, one thing that I find very interesting is obviously the giants in Native American folklore. The Sitika is how they called them. But there is a lot of variations of Native American, North, Central, and South American that talks about giants. Now, one thing that I want to see, there is amazing videos on YouTube about this, and even Ben Carson, who's he's one of those ancient theorist guys, kind of like George Tablopoulos, or the guy with the crazy hair that always says like the meme where he goes aliens. He's kind of one of those that reads ancient texts and studies kind of history, but puts an alien spin on it. This is really interesting. The Grand Canyon. So,
Grand Canyon giants.
So, there was a scientist in the early 1900s. Let's see. 1909, which was first reported this discovery. So the story goes that there was a scientist exploring the innards of the Grand Canyon, and he came across a cave that he entered, and he noticed that there was a giant hall. Pillars structures carved into the walls inside of the Grand Canyon. When he got into there, he noticed that there were tombs and there were bones. What he discovered were these bones were about 5 to 10 times bigger than normal human bones. So an arm bone for us, tibia, fibia, is about this big. What he was seeing was about this big, and complete skeletons. He brought out, so he told one of his friends, another archaeologist scientist. The other friend told him, don't tell anyone about this because they're going to take your work. Eventually, he did gather some of the bones and send it off to the Smithsonian. And the Smithsonian said that they were fake, and now you can't access that part of the Grand Canyon. That's a cool folklore, folklore story.
Okay.
But there's an actual video online on YouTube of Ben Carson, this gentleman that I was talking about, who went to the part of the Grand Canyon where this cave is supposed to be. There's an actual trail that's carved down in there. When he came around a corner, a gentleman, I'll say military person, jumped out from behind the bushes, no name tag, no identification purposes, fully tactical gear with the gun, stopped him and said, "You're not allowed to proceed any further." And he goes, "I'm just exploring the area. Like, why can't I go any further?" And he goes, apparently they said, or from what he said, he was told from that military personnel that this is NASA private property, government property, and NASA property, and you are not authorized to continue any further than this. You're going to have to turn around and go back. So there's certain sections of the Grand Canyon, and this is all on video too, these interactions. So kind of weird. I don't know what's going on at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, but without a name tag of a military guy, so that we can research if that person really is military or not.
Right.
It could be anybody dressed up, right?
Yes. It could be anybody dressed up, but...
So I want to see George. George, come on.
No, it's not. It's nothing special. I'm not versed in the subject of giants. Mythologies. I just know a few. A little. But the Norse mythology, it's commonly referred to giants. For example, Ymir was made of ice and fire, right? So he creates giants, planets of giants. Surtur destroy Asgard because he gets bigger than they. Yeah. So you got other gods that actually became the size of planets. We have the Greeks. I think they have hundreds of giants in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Titans, yep.
And then you have to remember here, Lord of the Rings. Like every time you refer to big villains, powerful, it's usually tall. Remember, Sauron. Was gigantic in the way in the past. He was like gigantic fighter, a warrior.
Well, when they showed in the very beginning, they panned the camera
4 or 5 sizes, the size of humans, right?
Yeah.
So there are other examples, right, in Lord of the Rings too. You got to remember this: the north of Game of Thrones, they had giants.
Yes.
They had giants too. So and also I read a book. I remember I was in London. I read a book. It's like a child's book, and then 100 stories from the Norwegian mythology, right? And tales. Half of them have giants. Half of them. So it's part of the Norse, mythology, and also every single super powerful in the Marvel universe, like really huge, like super powerful beings, they are gigantic. Example, Aaron or Galactus or the Tribunal, like they are all gigantic, humongous, gigantic. Yeah. So there's always this association with power. You gotta be taller, So
yeah, no, I could see
even
that.
Thanos is bigger than average.
Yeah, he's the Hulk size.
Yeah.
He's the Hulk size. But like you get a lot of villains and characters in on TV, on literature. They all they all are associated with power, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's an old adage of even that pertains to us. You always had the bigger kid at the schoolyard who was the bully because he was bigger, he had more power, so he got away with a lot more things. So whatever he said, everyone else just kind of like, okay, Steve's bigger than all of us, he'll beat us up if we don't follow his directions, type of thing. So there is like a primal association with height and power.
But also, people say like, the bigger you are, the bigger the fall, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then, associates like with, bigger beings, like being a little clumsier because, longer legs and it's not as agile kind of thing.
David and Goliath is a perfect example.
The perfect example of that, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know why. I just started, I started reading into it and looking into it, and one thing led to another, and then the YouTube algorithm just hooked. It was like, dude wants to know about giants now. Let's shove it down his throat. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of months now, is just kind of looking into giants, and it's really interesting. Just coincidence or not? I mean, you go back thousands of years into the mythology, the folklore, the history of a lot of people, of our early ancestors, and they all have some story of giants, either giant figures or star people, as the Native Americans, described them, coming down from outer space onto Earth. And
those guys then built the pyramids probably because they're like strong, and then those big blocks are just like small rocks for them.
Yeah, they just picked it up.
Yeah.
Karate chopped them into perfect squares and put it in there.
Yeah, they just assembled it like we assemble things, like little things, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So what is there, I mean, Google it, probably there's going to be, somewhere on the internet, like the very first giant known to humankind.
Speculatively speaking, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see what it brings. So there's Wikipedia there.
Oh, of course, it's a
that is always.
It's a fantastic fantasy. It is our.
So this is
understanding of how life is.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Right here, a very interesting thing: the Book of Enoch, which was a lost book of the Bible. The Book of Enoch describes giants as the offspring of watchers and women. In 7:2, Hayek was known as the founder of the Armenian state.
There'll be chapter 7,
verse 2.
Verse 2, yes.
Hayek was a part of a race of giants who helped construct the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
Which was later destroyed. If we
Yeah, that was the creation of all languages. Yeah.
Yes. Let me see if there's any images. Giant spider, get out of here! Come on,
get out of there!
Just be careful, man.
Look at that giant tree! Look! How many people like hugging that giant, tree over there? Yeah, that
the
one.
giant sequoia tree.
Sequoia, yeah.
Those are really cool.
Yeah.
Look.
That's not ancient. Yeah, but this, here's a fine example: Easter Island.
Okay.
Easter Island heads. Why in the middle of nowhere?
Marvel symbolizes that with the Eternals.
Oh yeah. I mean, George, you do know this stuff, man.
Just a little.
Yeah,
bit.
because that's exactly that.
Well, and when you think about it, look at this. Is it an intimidation tool, or are they representative? Are they representing early watchers? Star people, What I mean, what this is obviously what was shown from the neck up or the throat up, but then you were able to dig deeper and see that there's actual body to it
Yeah, this is amazing.
on Easter Island.
This is
If you kept digging.
So the smaller ones are children. Man, when you're talking about that, it's like the planets are actually eggs, right?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
You gotta understand also, like, think about a usual statue. Okay, statue, when you create that, is just a human being size. But when you go to more authoritarian countries, have you seen the size of people they create statues?
Yeah, because like men of power, they make it bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, they make it like this 4-store building or something like this.
Yeah.
But when it's just when it's not about the ego, it's not about the power, it's not about the propaganda. That would be the size of a person, or maybe a little bit, bigger or smaller. But
yeah, it's like
whenever you are in that, you use that as a weapon.
yeah, the Christ the Redeemer, right? In Rio, it's massive, right?
Yeah.
The
Powerful.
Statue of Liberty.
yeah, and
Statue
the
of
Statue of
Liberty.
Liberty as well. It's a massive, building. So
In Ukraine also, there's like, I don't know. Honestly, it's like 5-store high. If you pick up there are, if you look on the internet, you see the
Mhm.
sizes of stars, of statues, and
in India, there is a huge one. Yeah, they're like the tallest buildings. Have you seen those? Those
Yes.
videos, the tallest buildings in the world, and then that
Yeah.
includes some of these statues that they
Mhm.
make.
there we go. That's what I
Okay.
was talking about. So notice that we also have this idea of giantism, if you prefer. I don't know how you want to call it. We want that. We want,
Oh, this would be a cool. I think it was from a video, but it gives the different heights of all the various statues across the world.
Look at that, 182. That's the one I was referring to.
Yeah.
Statue of Unity
In
Is that-
India, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the Indian one, yeah.
Gosh, look how crazy, how big all of these different statues are.
You go down there, we have the names. Yeah, in the other pictures. Yeah, exactly.
Statue of Unity, India, Spring Temple, Buddha.
Yep.
I can't say that. Statue of Liberty, Motherland.
Guanin
Calls.
of Nanshan in China, Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
Christ the Redeemer.
The Christ the Redeemer is actually small compared to
Yeah.
to the Statue of Liberty in the U.S.
So, actually, I found this out.
Well, there is a pedestal thing. Yeah.
Yes. If you don't consider this pedestal right here,
Uh-huh.
Christ the Redeemer and the Statue of Liberty are like
the-
1 meter
Yeah,
different.
1
Exactly.
meter different, yeah.
Yeah, they're basically the same height, but because this is on top of a pedestal, the Statue of Liberty is taller.
So again, it's one more demonstration that it's just a reflection, in art, in literature, in fiction,
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very interesting.
So you
And
want
also-
to make it the man bigger.
It also depends on how you position the camera, right? So we've all done that.
It's the lighting, I swear, sweetie. It was just a bad day.
Just a wrong angle,
Yeah,
wrong
exactly.
light.
There is always a perspective that you can add to anything.
Always, always.
Right?
But it's fascinating though. Even like building something like as big as that is still fascinating. Even though it's like a representation what humans want to make on the statues like this. But it's fascinating, how much effort is put in, to hey, I'm gonna have the tallest,
And you
building.
need dynasties for that. You need dynasties. You can't have a change in regime because you know it takes. Think about the church in Barcelona. I went there in 2008.
The Sagrada Familia.
Sagrada Familia.
Yeah.
So look what's going on. I don't know. They're still constructing, man. I remember I went there. Oh no, they are. It's under construction for the past 20 years. So it's been for the past 36 years. It's in construction, right? So
Okay.
You gotta respect and protect that. Your land cannot be invaded, cannot be destroyed. You know,
Yeah.
there are so many things because it takes like 100 or something years to build this. You know, you need stability. You need, you know, you can't have war. You can't have, you know, like a strong religion against that because they would. We saw some, but probably most of them, they were destroyed.
It's been
Because
destroyed.
the first thing they do is, you know, it's destroy the images,
And destroyed,
you know.
destroy the symbols.
the symbols,
Yep.
the images,
Yeah.
you know, like the power. Because
Yeah.
putting it down, right? It's what do you think it happened? Why do you think they attack the two towers in the
Yeah.
United States?
Yeah, yeah.
For the
Because it
same
was a
reason.
symbol.
Those are giants. Those are two giant rocks in New York that
Yeah.
were put it down, you know. So it's of course, so this is what I feel, you know, regarding that, you know, like they destroy. So we saw some of them, but thousands more probably have to be
that's-
down.
That's interesting.
So, I mean, along those same lines, the Tower of Babel, which, like Hilton said, it's from the Bible. It was where language and arts and all history and information. It was basically a meeting point of civilization for everyone to come together and gather and spread knowledge and information and recite history. And again, all of ancient depictions and descriptions of the Tower of Babel was a ginormous, absolutely megalithic structure.
I always imagine something square like this one.
This one?
No, the other one. That one. I always imagine in my mind when, you know, at church and stuff, it was like a square like this, like that square part would go forever.
Yeah.
You know, the top would go forever, not just that height, but like higher and higher.
Because they're trying to reach, wasn't it? They were trying to reach the heavens. They were
The
trying
heavens,
to reach
yeah.
to God,
Yes.
and God smote
And-
it down.
Yeah, and that's yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's been a little while since I read about that, but it's like they're trying to reach the heaven,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
and
that's what I
then,
was about to say too. Yeah,
yeah,
the whole church, all the buildings were tall, and in order to get how tall you can go, because you get closer to God.
yes,
Right.
and then you know God kind of was like, hey, what you guys trying to do is not trying to be humans, but trying to be gods yourselves, and then it created this synergy, right? And that's why all the languages were created, because you know people couldn't understand each other anymore, and then everything collapsed, you know, with the work.
And
Yeah.
And look, we have our modern buildings like the Burj Khalifa in the Emirates, right? So I can tell. I'm not talking about any incentives or anything here, but if they ever being invaded, that's the first thing that goes down.
Yes.
Yes.
Because then it's your power, you know, it's your head being going down, you know. So that's why it's hard to find also tall constructions being maintained by anyone who invaded, you know. Like I'm not saying it's gonna happen. We hope it never happen, but definitely. So touching God or being the tallest possible, that reflects in the giants. The same perspective for the giants. Yes, exactly. It almost looks like it comes down to earth, not
Yes.
built from the
Yeah.
Not from the
that's a
earth.
Not
Yeah,
from
not from the earth,
from
yes.
yeah from
Just a-
bottom up is like something.
passage
Yeah.
or you know a tunnel.
Which I find it very interesting, how God chose, from the biblical story, God chose to smite those people and destroy the Tower of Babel because they were getting too close to him. But yet in the New Testament with Jesus, Jesus is calling everyone to be a follower of him and get as close as possible to Jesus so that you can be as close to God as possible.
But it's
through
how
him.
close. Why are you getting close?
Exactly.
Yeah, the reason, the intention. Yes.
The intention
The
behind
intention
it.
is very important.
It is very important.
I
You're
think.
Conquer God.
Yeah. Got to
You wanna-
overrule.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what do you want to do? So it all depends on the intentions. That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
that would justify probably your it would
Probably.
answer a question.
Yeah. Interesting stuff, gentlemen. Giant structures. You want to know? You want to know about another thing that I've been going down?
Oh, yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I forget what it's called. Let me see if it is. It is the. There is a road in Peru. Well, it actually extends on the west side of South America, and along this route, there's a footpath highway. They call it the Inca Highway, I believe it's what it's called, the Inca Freeway. But it is a freeway that connects Machu Picchu with other various ancient cities and sites throughout the west coast of South America. And they cannot explain it other than it was constructed thousands and thousands of years ago, cobbled together with stones, but they connect all of these ancient cities that, I mean, Machu Picchu in itself is an anomaly to me. Like, who the hell would...
Oh, I saw a documentary on that. It's like so many caves and buildings and like infrastructure underneath, like for water.
Yep.
It's so kind of technological, advanced.
For its time.
Yes, it's incredible.
But my question is, I mean, all of this was human-made, built...
No, the giants made it.
Or the giants made it, yes. But here's some of like the steps that were carved into the mountains. But the path of it, let me see if I can find the path.
We are staying weird today.
Oh, 100%.
I forgot to mention predators.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The predator, they are giants.
Yeah, they're big. They're big. Yeah.
They can be the most powerful. It's 2-3 sizes the size of a human being.
Yeah.
Again, another one.
I'd have to look it up, gentlemen. I hate that I can't remember what it is. But here it is. Some of these paths through Central or South America. But along the path, it connects all of these ancient cities and stops along the way. Obviously, Machu Picchu, but there's other ones, and I forget the name of them. But it just continues for thousands of miles up and down the coast of South America, and it connects all of these places together. And
Is that the road in there?
yeah,
Look at that. You see the path. Well, it's the only way, to kind of walk across, right? If you have no cars or no vehicles, and then you have to go around.
oh yeah, no, of course. But when you think about it, like George was saying,
Was made a long time ago.
you have to have some type of stability. You have to have some type of economic, social stability going on where you are at to be like, hey, our neighbors, they're 500 miles away, but we need to get to them. So we're going to construct a path that's going to cut through the Andes Mountains, which is, I mean, if you look at this, it is just straight up cliffs. Straight up cliffs to get to Machu. Like, to me, Machu Picchu is just the craziest thing in the whole world. Like, why would you build a city?
I've never been. Have you guys been?
No, I haven't been. Well,
No,
I'd
I
love
haven't
to
been.
go.
And we should go as soon as possible because every year they're, making some areas not accessible anymore. So the late
They're blocking the path.
Yeah, it's like for the past 30 years. I've been hearing this for the past 30 years. Oh, the first time I went there, I could go this place. Now I can't go. You know, it's becoming also more popular, even more popular right now because of the connectivity.
Yes, yes.
And so it's more and more people going there. So it's more risk for something to happen, you know? Yeah. Again, it's protected while the world is kind of in peace. That's protected. But if it's in war, we don't know who can win. And you don't know what they're going to do with the place. They can simply destroy it. They can simply, and you know what? That's a fantastic. Why don't we have people living there? You know, they won't respect the religion. They won't respect, you know, the principles. It doesn't matter if it's, if it's international, if it's registered. Like no one could do anything here. If I am war, I don't care about your rules. I don't care about your laws, you know. So it's incredible that it has lasted this long.
Exactly. And I think that is one of the most amazing parts of it, like you're saying, is obviously given the remoteness to it.
Yes.
You know, there is a remoteness to it because it's in the middle of the mountains. I mean, and it's a treacherous mountain range to get through. And it's just all of a sudden you walk around a corner of or you step on top of a mountain and you're like, holy shit, look at, you know, I'm in the middle of a city that, you know, thousands of years ago held people, held events, held, you know, birth givings and birthday parties and, you know,
imagine these, you know, look at this image over here. Yeah, pull it up. Imagine that. So that image, and then you are on the top of a rock, right? And then you look like, okay, so how far can we go? And then they look, and there's so much road or you know, path still to go. It's like, oh, geez,
and to be honest,
can't make it out there.
And to be honest, when the Europeans invaded the Americas, right? They were so arrogant to believe that their technology was so superior in everything. They might just pass it down, destroyed it, and maybe there is this Uruguayan writer who said that 80 million Native Americans from the other Americas were killed. So 80 million, 80. They were, you know, annihilated by European forces, and they said millions were great professionals. We are talking about brilliant doctors, brilliant engineers, brilliant architects, even probably brighter than the European themselves. But because they didn't have the necessary weapons or the malice that the Europeans had.
I would say like they did not have the thought of being attacked. So
they weren't angels, because we know that how the tribes massacred the others, you know. But definitely a lot has been lost. You know, all the technology, all the techniques.
Oh yeah.
Buried with 80 million, natives.
So one thing I did this last year for summer, I went and saw Machu Picchu, which is not Machu Picchu. Jesus Christ, Chichen Itza. I went to Chichen Itza
in Mexico, right?
Yeah, Chichen Itza, and I saw the.
Are they Incas?
Mayans.
Mayans. Okay.
It's a Mayan temple. So the temple is the temple for Kukulkan. I love that name. The god Kukulkan, who is the snake god or fire serpent, where he is supposed to be, again, descending from the heavens down to earth. And you talk about unbelievable structures, unbelievable amounts of details.
Built to last.
It's not even just that. One of the most amazing things, and there's videos of it. I have a video of it. There's certain areas of the temple that you go to, and you clap and it echoes, but the echo that it produces mimics one of the native birds that is from that area. So it's not a particular, like, you know, when you clap and it echoes, it has like a ringing to it.
Yeah.
This one echoes at a different pitch, and it echoes throughout the whole thing. So you'll be way across on the other side of Chichen Itza, and you can hear people clapping and having that echo ring out through the whole area. It is beyond anything.
So it's no, I was thinking it's technology on
yeah.
breaking the sound with structures by the reverb
Yes.
of how the sound is gonna bounce, and then
And they do that with light, with the sunlight.
Yeah.
You know, all the technology they have for sunlight and everything, right?
So the sun and winter equinox will hit the statue, because this is the temple of Kukulkan is perfectly aligned with the North Star. It is perfectly aligned with the sun, so that when the summer and winter equinox hits it at a certain angle, the steps cast a shadow, and it looks like a serpent is slithering down or slithering up on the sides here. And there's videos of it that you can watch. It's
can we pull up the video and then we'll react?
I'm sure
We won't hear what they're
You
saying.
know the concentration of power you need to build this?
One thing that I am not 100% sure of, but I had seen, again, from this Ben Carson, he had mentioned that apparently the government of Mexico has openly said that the Mayan people that inhabited Chichen Itza and that area thousands of years ago were not the original builders of those temples. That those temples are even far... were already built more ancient than the Mayan people that were there in that area.
So was that before?
They're saying that it was there before. One of the crazy things that even when I was there that they were excavating is that the temple of Kukulkan, underneath of it, has a cenote, and it has an underground layer that was accessed by the tribes. And there's certain parts that you walk around, and that temple is floor level right there, like the ground level that you're walking on is right here. You'll go on to one side, and you'll still see more of the temple going further down into the ground. Giant blocks and structures that continue down. So what you see up above here is not the full complete temple. That still goes further down into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, that in itself is even more amazing as well.
So which means the soil kind of flooded a little bit, that, you know, through nature normally, right?
Just overgrew the area over hundreds and thousands of years. You know?
That makes you think, right? So there's this TV series called the Three Body Problem. It's a sci-fi, you know, and basically because of the position of the three planets, you don't have stability. Okay. So the whole matter collapse, and then they have an experience through through a specific device that they see their planets being destroyed like 169 times, and they have to reconstruct from zero. So they wouldn't know about the others, because only the survivals, right? Why? Because it destroys the whole material, the whole matter is destroyed. So it makes you think, if the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, what impedes, right, that has happened with beings on Earth for 100 million years?
Multiple times.
Multiple times, and then you start from zero. That's what the TV series invites you to think.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it's like, hey, there has been a couple of wipeouts, but
exactly. Absolutely wipe out.
Yeah, and then maybe some people survived, but it had to start from scratch again.
Yes, that's
and repopulate, right? Yeah, that's one of the things that I normally say. Hey, what? Looking at some of these structures, like there is no way. Well, there might be a way, but it's like it's a strong evidence that there had been advanced civilization before, and then got wiped out by either a meteor hitting, the planet, or a huge
Of course, we
war.
have to trust science.
Yeah.
Like they can, have the enough, let's say, devices, equipment to measure, what happened in the past. But
But some
until
of
we find
these-
something more powerful, until we find something else. Everything is a myth until science.
But if you remember,
feels it,
on science books back when we were like in 5th and 6th grade, right? They would say, hey, that is when they date something on the past, it's like, oh, this is being dated of I don't know, 1 million year to 5 million years. So they cannot be very specific. So they have
It's
like
just an estimation.
yeah, it's an
basically.
estimation of like a 4 million years. You know what I mean? It's like
with the carbon 14th.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
something like that. So when you look at Conrad, you can actually tell Conrad is about 55 years old. Just by
Fuck
looking at him.
Fuck off, you asshole.
When you look at me, it's like, oh, that's just 25. You know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You look at George, and George is about 18. He looks young.
21 because he is smoking a cigar, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Well, do we want to watch this video of the serpent shadow?
Yeah, do that. We got an error. Why is it not playing? Well, let's try and get that rolling, and then I'll bring the screen.
There again. Here's the sound. Huh, the videos aren't playing, Hilton.
Don't know what's going on with the computer though.
But anyways, watch these videos. It's really interesting. Because and to that point, when you think about how, or George had mentioned the tribal, we know about the tribal tendencies of what we heard. When we were there, the tour guide was saying basically life was valued up until you were, or your life was the most valuable when you were sacrificed. So you basically were just made to be sacrificed for the gods, to appease the gods, to help the gods. So, and they were saying that the average lifespan of most Mayan people that lived or were in the Chichen Itza area was only 30 to 35 years old. I cannot comfortably say that you can have a stable, productive society if every single 30 to 35-year-old person is killed and sacrificed to appease the gods. Like that to me is proof enough that these were ancient, or these were structures already made, and that these Mayan people came and just kind of
started to kind of pay tribute
of the past gods.
Of the past gods.
Don't kill us now that we're living in your area. We'll sacrifice as many people as necessary to to appease you, type of thing. Thank you, sir.
I've already given my opinion in a different podcast about that. I think we need, space visits, space tourism, space whatever you prefer to call conquest. I think it's only worth it if you have economic interests. So if our materials, if whatever we have here, it has no power over a galaxy, why would anyone come to Earth? There are literally 4 trillion, quadrillion, stars in the world, in the planets. In the universe. So they would only come here if there is something really, really precious. Otherwise it's like finding a planet in the Sahara. Just finding one piece of sand in Sahara. If that piece is miraculous, important, economically speaking, or whatever is the term they use it, it's an important resource, of course they would be here. Or by accident, something happened and they had to stay here for 1,000 years to recover, to build something because they don't have the right tools. So they they don't have the technology, but they have the knowledge.
Refuel.
So it takes 1,000 years because for them 1,000 years is nothing, because maybe they are immortals, or maybe time doesn't work in the same way for them. They stay here for 1,000 years. They build whatever they can, and then they left. They don't want to come here. It's like you. Oh, do you want to be in a swamp?
No, I'm good. I don't want to live in a swamp.
For 1 hour, for 3 hours, maybe for a weekend. If you can, but you don't want to be there. So why would be in a?
You got a flat tire, and then you gotta stop there and figure it out how you're gonna fix the tire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's one mineral, what's one material that is here on Earth that isn't on the immediate planet surrounding us?
I don't know.
Gold. What is not something that can be mechanically or artificially made?
Is that gold?
Gold. Gold is one of the resources that is a rarity, that is of somewhat abundance here on this planet, that has... I've always thought it was interesting how gold has such a strong value throughout history. Like everything we've always done, it's
Do you buy gold?
Yes, I buy gold. Yes.
Yeah, since ever?
Since Richard says to buy silver.
Yeah,
yeah, he says
like
silver.
6 months ago, and it went 42% since he said that.
Yeah.
You see that?
Gold is at an all-time high
He knows
too.
something.
Platinum was 88%. Gold was, 68%, and then silver 44%, 42%.
Yeah. But gold is a mineral that there is no planets around, knowing, the planets around here in our solar system that have gold. It is a excellent conductor of electricity. It is, it's a very rare metal with a lot of interesting properties.
And it's not a very hard metal, so they normally use like a hardener thing to mix with. Yeah.
Correct, but pure gold in itself is has very interesting properties, very different properties. So,
it's always scale and spectrum, right? Within our spectrum, within our knowledge, gold is amazing. But think about a society, a community, I don't know. Think about someone who lived for 3 million years as a civilization. Think about how much they explored, how many different alloys they created, how many different, they pick up from a distant galaxy product, piece of metal on this metal, or whatever they call it, on this side, together with that energy. When you put them together, it's, it travels in time, or it stops time. We don't know. There's so much to be exploring to that.
For sure.
So we are 10,000 year civilization. Think about a 3 million year civilization.
But one of the things is I'm thinking of it, and also trying to associate, for example, the gold theory, like all the galaxies that uses gold, and then okay, so we found this one planet by radars or whatever that they identify that there's gold in there, then they would come, right? So because it would have to be important for them on the other galaxies as well, right? So to be able to travel here and kind of make a stop and then mine a little bit.
And there is one concept of the geometrical progression, right?
Okay.
Think about what has been invented or improved in the past 20 years compared to to the rest of history.
Oh yeah. So this is science. This
Yes.
scientific mind. Yeah.
But look at that. We are talking about 20 years over 10,000 years. So the last 20 years, we evolved ridiculously in terms of technology, right? What happens with 3 million years? Like every
Yes.
second is technology being developed somewhere.
Somewhere.
It's it's
Even from
sparse,
now
it's
on, if
spread
you-
out through the galaxy.
Yeah, even
You
from
know?
now on, 10 years from now, we're going to look back and say, like, hey, for the last 20 years, it's more. So what we look back 10 years from now is, there's nothing. Because the next 10 years are going to be even greater.
iPhone 5.
And, well, I get it.
Because you have that thing about the civilization levels, right? So
Yes,
civilization
yeah,
1, 0,
yeah.
1.
We are 0.6. Our civilization.
yeah.
To be one, you must be able to know how to manipulate all the resources in your own planet.
Yeah, we're not there.
Like how to explore all the explorations we can do with water. Water pressure. Look, think about that. We use water pressure to clean stuff, right? So think about other thousands of uses of water that we don't know yet.
We're still confused about how many genders there are.
Well,
With that,
Yes, with that.
we gotta wrap it up for scary season. But honestly, gentlemen, I think this was a fun conversation.
Yeah.
We can go for hours.
yeah, I love these conversations when we get subjects to talk.
Yeah.
When we don't have a guest, and we just go off of a subject is awesome. I
It's
love
fun.
this.
But some of our guests would love. I'm sure they would love
Yeah,
to.
yes.
Yeah.
Like Richard, I know Richard always will love to talk about
Ben.
that.
Yes, Ben.
Ben would love to
Yeah.
talk about this.
But that's the thing. It's like when a guest comes for the first time, normally we gear towards them, but they come for the second or third time, and then we could potentially, put a subject that it's a little different. Yeah.
As we did with Ben. Ben did all his research and brought it all this, right? So
That's Ben's signing there to keep us weird.
yeah, linking, cool.
Like,
Comment.
Subscribe.
thank you very much for joining us on the spooky season episode, the Puff Drink Talk podcast. We'll catch you around next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.